everybody. This is Scott Young from Optrics Engineering, and we wanted to actually bring in and talk to Sean Sturby, our Technical Services Manager, who is the one on the street who is talking to our clients and keeping an eye on how things are going out there in the networking world. So we just wanted to bring him in and share top 3 things that IT managers and IT directors should be thinking about. But before we do that, why don't you introduce yourself, Sean, and talk about some of your experience so far in your IT career.
Sure. Thanks for the intro, Scott. Sean Sturby, I've been the Manager of Technical Services here at Optrics for the last 20 years or so. I started in the IT industry in the sort of early 90s, Novell Netware Networks, and back when this internet thing was just starting out. So in the last 20 years or so, it's been just at Optrics, focusing on security solutions and dealing with our clients and all of their unique requirements.
Perfect. Yeah, and for those of you who are clients, this is the guy you probably talk to when getting a demo or professional services, whether it be implementation or training on one of the solutions you purchased from us. So now you get to see him in live in person. So thank you for that, Sean. So let's go to the top 3. Let's go through some things here. First thing is keeping your staff working from home safe. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, sure. So a lot of people, when this idea of working from home came along, they had to set up whatever they had. So if it was a home computer that the person had, all of a sudden now it's got a connection back to the office and is being used to do everything that they had done as if they were in the office. However, this is not a corporate managed device, so we've got to keep our end users safe. We've got to remind them that if they're the IT person for their own home computer, to make sure that it is up to date, that there's a good antivirus solution in place, and that all of the products or softwares that's on it is up to date and not exploitable versions. Now, if they can't do that, you might want to add them into whatever local management tool you are using so that you can now get a visibility into whether or not they are up to date or if they're running a ancient Windows XP version of Windows and no antivirus.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other thing to keep in mind too, Sean, is that as organizations are changing how they do things, especially with using collaboration tools or webinar tools or web conferencing tools, not everybody is trained up on using them. Using that to just keep in mind that you could have a pocket of users, depending on the size of your organization, who aren't super comfortable with it, and so it's worth perhaps even doing a poll, not just from a security perspective, but from a training perspective, making sure that everybody is up to snuff.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that I've recommended is if they can make a change to their DNS settings to use some of the family-friendly DNS services out there that are going to automatically block them going out to known malware sites.
Mm-hmm. Such as, I think, OpenDNS, is that one of the ones you're thinking about?
OpenDNS, and for our Canadian clients, Sierra has recently come out with a service, again, free for home users. So very easy to set up, very simple, and it's just another layer of protection.
Yeah, excellent. So speaking of protection, let's talk about not only keeping our staff working from home safely, but now also making sure that your own network is safe. And you had some thoughts on that as well.
Correct, yes. So to do this work from home, a lot of companies are setting up VPN connections, which are great. Others might just be enabling remote desktop protocol into their network. And the internet is telling us that there's a lot of scanning for these open networks, or open RDP connections. So instead of opening them wide to the entire internet, if you have to open it up, VPN would be a better solution, but you can always do some geofencing. If all of your end users are in North America, why open up your firewall rule to the entire internet? Maybe restrict it. Or if you can go the next step, if you can survey the end users and get their IP addresses, which could be as simple as sending them a link saying, what IP address does this my WAN IP address site tell you have? They can do a screenshot or do a copy and paste for that, send it back to IT, and now you can limit it so that only if they're coming from their home IP address are they allowed into your network.
Yeah, that's a great point, and something that's definitely worth looking into. And the final thing that we wanted to discuss were the pros and cons of working from home. Is it necessarily a bad thing? And in some cases, it could be more efficient. Now, from what I'm hearing is there's lots of organizations who had already, that's just the way they work, and so this is nothing new for them. And so long as you're already set up in a distraction-free environment, you have a home office, it certainly works better. Easier commute, both for in the morning and at lunch, provides lots of flexibility. But I think the big thing here is being a distraction-free zone. What are some things that you're seeing in this regard?
Being distraction-free, yeah, being able to set up a space that this is work, and explaining that to your family. When I'm in this room or when I'm at this desk, this is at work. And also being a little flexible. So I've seen lots of people, because of kids now at home, where if both parents are also working from home, that maybe they shift their schedules a little bit, where one parent will take care of the kid in the morning and then do all of their work, noon on. And that way they can, if there's the flexibility in their work, are able to still maintain their family environment, but also be efficient as far as working.
Mm-hmm. Now, another thing, I know we've implemented it here at the office. We're in an open environment, is just to have a symbol of when you should not be disturbed, like you're in focus time or client time, and it's too bad I don't have one here, but orange cone time. Not something I came up with. I saw it somewhere else, but some symbol that says at your door, or the door is closed, or whatever, that says to the rest of your family, when this happens, absolutely can't be disturbed unless the house is burning down, literally.
Like a TV or radio station on-air sign.
Yeah, exactly.
Could be as simple as a little piece of paper or a sticky note on the door. I'm busy.
Yeah, do not disturb. Fantastic. So what are some tools that you recommend that people look at right now to make sure that their staff are working home safely, that their network is safe, and also making sure that their staff are working efficiently? Anything come to mind?
Well, we already mentioned using some family-friendly DNS services on their home PCs so that they can, if they go out to the web, or if somebody sends them a link that leads to a malicious site, that even if they accidentally click on it, they might not actually go out to it. Some training and education on phishing, the scams that are going out right now. The malware writers and scammers are ramping up their efforts, especially trying to do the spear phishing, where they claim to be the CEO, and they're, we just want to thank all of our users from working at home. Can you please run out and get me or buy online 100 of these iTunes cards so we can send them out to every one of our users. You're going to use your own credit card for this, but we'll reimburse you once this is over. And so that's happening a lot more. And then, we talked about, it's the end users, or the home PCs that they're using. You might actually have to increase your antivirus and or management tool count so that you can bring those into the fold. Might not be exactly the same. You don't apply all the same rules, but at the very least, you make sure that they have an updated antivirus and can at least see the status of their software patching using a tool like, say, the Manage Engine Desktop Central. If it's properly set up, it can reach out to PCs outside, and we're finding a lot of our clients are using tools like that to make sure that the home users and their PCs are kept up to date.
Mm-hmm. And with so for the phishing training or anti-phishing phishing training and simulation, KnowBe4 is the product that we recommend, and certainly we can talk to you about that. Desktop Central is a Manage Engine product, and we'd love to talk to you about that. On the antivirus side of things, one thing to consider is, and perhaps Sean, you have a comment on this, is that a lot of the antivirus vendors out there, for whatever you're using internally, for your corporate environment, they might also have a deal on providing home user versions of the same thing.
Yeah, they are doing that, and they are also making a 3 or a 6 month subscription available at no charge.
Sure. So it'd be worth making sure that everybody is on a common platform. I'm sure as an IT person trying to patch 50 different types of antivirus, that's just not a great way to go.
No.
So having everybody on the same thing and making sure that it's done correctly is a good thing. Great. Well, any final closing comments, Sean? Or do you think we've got it well covered off?
I think we've got it well covered off. Thanks for
Perfect.
this
Well,
discussion, Scott.
yeah, no problem, and I look forward to doing it again. So hopefully everyone provides some good tips and food for thought. Stay safe out there, and we'll chat again. Bye for now.